Hi guys, the Middle Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be listing off 10 albums to listen to during the October season, the season of Halloween. So, with that, let's begin. So, first off is, let's see, what should I start off with? Here we go. Hold on. I'll put that in a minute. But, first off, now, these aren't in any particular order. Anyway, so firstly is the album Eaten Back to Life by Cannibal Corpse. The reason why I picked this one out of any Cannibal Corpse album is because this one seems the most horror movie-esque in a way. Like, it feels like, I know all Cannibal Corpse albums are like that, but this one just feels the most like it. Yeah, you got albums like Butchered at Birth and, Tomb of the Mutilated and stuff like that. Those are quite fitting to listen to during October and especially on Halloween. But this one, it just has that feel to it where yeah, the other ones kind of sound like cool. This is what would be like. This would be cool as a soundtrack to a horror film. But this one actually has a more potent feel of that to the point where like you listen to it and you're so into it to the point where you feel yourself like you're in a horror film while you're listening to it. But yeah, it's just a really, really great thing to listen to in the month of October. But yeah, all right, hold on. All right, next up. Next up is Next up is Altars of Madness by not Possessed, Morbid Angel. There we go. This one, I picked this one out of the two that I own, because unlike let's see, of course, Gateways to Annihilation. Gateways to Annihilation. Already missing my words. Gateways to Annihilation feels more almost like it, I don't know. It just feels like it's just sort of a not I wouldn't say typical, but it feels sort of its own really thing. It's not trying to be anything else other than its own thing. Whereas this one, you could clearly tell they were clearly picking up elements. They're clearly trying to make this sound maybe just a little bit, maybe a lot, but this one clearly has a sound like it would fit. This would fit better as a horror movie soundtrack than, say, not Altars of Madness. This is Altars of Madness, but I mean, Gateways to Annihilation. Gateways to Annihilation is good, but this one definitely would be more just fitting to listen to in October. I mean, come on, you got songs like Immortal Rights, Visions from the Dark Side, Maze of Torment, Chapel of Ghouls, Evil Spells. Like, this is just perfect to listen to during this time of year. Especially if you read along to it. I know this isn't a version that has the lyric sheet, but if you have a version that has a lyric sheet, just reading along to it while you listen to it really just gets you in the mood, gets you in the Halloween mood. But yeah. Next up, hold on, put this back really quick. All right. Next up is Severed Survival by Autopsy. Well, I mean, this one is very fitting. Yeah, lyric-wise too, but for the most part, it's the atmosphere that really makes it fitting to listen to during this time of year. It just has that atmosphere, especially with that heavy, heavy, heavy down-tuned bass. Just gives off sort of just a downright sinister and just vibe of like some kind of lumbering monster sort of just chasing after you that you can't escape. And then the vocals as well, just sound like that monster just basically letting you know that he's hunting you down. And then the cover art too. I mean, look at that cover art. Yeah, this isn't the original. The actual original cover art is this, which is pretty good, but this one is just, I think, a lot better. I mean, come on. Come on, like, I don't know, it's just, this one, you look at it, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then with this one, the way it is, like, you could just be laying down on your bed, listening to the album, and then looking at this from above. It actually kind of looks like, if you, like, look at it like that, it kind of actually looks like the zombie doctors are experimenting on you. Just the way the artwork is. But yeah, just really creepy vibe to it. Just yeah. All right. Next up is another one with a really good atmosphere, and that is De Mysterious Dom Satanis by Mayhem. Yeah, the lyrics are I mean, kind of fitting, kind of really spooky, but again, just like with A Severed Survival by Autopsy, it's the atmosphere that really makes it good to listen to this time of year. Just really says that really creepy thing you want, really creepy atmosphere you want on something, especially, again, on Halloween. This is something, again, not only in October in general, but on Halloween, you really, really feel like this is just one of the most fitting albums to listen to. But yeah, great, great, great atmosphere. Definitely fitting. Alright, next up is the album Seven Churches by the band Possessed. I was really debating whether to put this on the list or Beyond the Gates, but this one feels the more fitting. Just has the better atmosphere, definitely the better lyrical content, and just the better song track listing as well. And then also, I mean, come on, the lyric pamphlet, and then of course the just cool, just like just the images of the band. It's really like feel like it's straight out of a horror film. And then the little quote on the back too. But yeah, just both has a great atmosphere, a fitting atmosphere, fitting lyrical content, and just fitting, just overall ominous presence. There we go. Hold on. There. But yeah, Possessed, Seven Churches. All right, now next up is next up is From Beyond, My Massacre. This one definitely has sort of a more of a not really fun, but really sort of not take it too seriously type vibe, which is also really cool. I'd say the thing about this album that is the most fitting is the sort of creepy lyrical content. With stuff like with songs like Dawn of Eternity, Cryptic Realms, Chamber of Ages, Succubus, Defeat Remains, Symbolic Immortality, Corpse Grinder, stuff like songs like those just have just the most fitting lyrical content to listen to in October, and also having just a really just badass, just catchy sound to the album as well. All right. Next up is of course, Show No Mercy by Slayer. And yeah, well, it's not like the most like obvious choice. I do think it's fitting to listen to this album in October. I mean, come on, you got the imagery, the really cool devil imagery, and then you got just the songs themselves, like "Evil Has No Boundaries" and "The Antichrist," "Metal Storm" / "Faith the Slayer." I mean, the story within that is just so fitting about a guy who's trapped in this weird sort of maze and is hunted down by this demonic being. And then Black Magic, of course, Tormentor, and of course, Show No Mercy. But yeah, just a really, really awesome thing. Alright. Alright, next up is not really a full-length album, this is an EP, but it's definitely fitting, and that is December Moon by Morbid. Just all around perfection if you're talking about something to listen to during the season of October. I mean the season of Halloween in the month of October. I know it's called December Moon, but I mean, other than the non-quite fitting title of the EP, the songs themselves, the atmosphere, and just the really dark lyrical content is just very fitting, and all of course, and yeah, that awesome artwork as well. But yeah, just an absolute. Especially if you're like it's late at night. Like I know I can't do it because other people are sleeping. But if you like live alone or like somebody or the rest of your family or whoever you live with or what if you have like no one around and it's the middle of the night and you put this on, it's just way more fitting. But yeah, just make sure if you put this on in the middle of the night, make sure that no one's around to accidentally wake up, because people like their sleep. But yeah. There we go. Okay, next is of course Abigail by King Diamond. I mean, what better to have? What better sort of kind of album to have and listen to in October than just an absolutely awesome horror story? Like, not even just one song, but the entire album being a very cohesive and very sinister and just absolutely entertaining horror story. But yeah, I mean, and the King Diamond's vocals are so eerie. The melodic mid sections, and not even mid sections, the melodic sections throughout the entirety of every single song is just gives a little bit of a reprieve from the actual story going on, told through King Diamond. And then once he starts up again, you get invested in the story right away again. But yeah, just an amazing thing to listen to. I mean, this is almost the equivalent of putting on just watching a horror movie. It's just a cohesive story throughout, and you're entertained all the way throughout. Entertained, scared. Just. I really wish, like, at some point, at one point, some of these King Diamond albums, or at least these stories, will be released as they could make like horror movies out of them if King Diamond would allow it. Who knows? Maybe King Diamond would be the director. Very interesting thought. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Almost thought I put it in the wrong spot. Anyway, and then lastly is the album Scream Bloody Gore by Death. In my opinion, the most fitting of all the albums on this list. I mean, this album out of any other just feels so immersed. Like, you get so immersed you feel like you're in a horror movie. I mean, and especially with the song Evil Dead, that's based on a horror film. I mean, I'm just the horror lyrics, just everything's perfect. Definitely I'd say out of all these albums, this is definitely the most quintessential, quintessential. There we go. The most quintessential album to listen to during October, and maybe even on Halloween. But yeah, just really fitting. But yeah, so that's really about it for this video. Just had the idea for a while. And I just was really excited to get this video out here. I had this video idea since mid to late September, so I was very excited for October to roll around, where I could finally actually get this video out. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.